Gran Turismo Sport is marketed as the real driving simulator. Well, how many real life races have you ever seen like this? Hey guys, and welcome along to another video. If this is your first time here and like watching all sorts of sim racing related stuff, subscribe now and click the bell icon so you get notified of every video I upload and you don't miss a thing. So here we are at Interlagos in Daily Race B. We've got 5 laps at what was my favourite track, Interlagos. We're in the KFC Lexus. I went with what I was comfortable with and knew was an okay car around this track. Everybody else, however, was in the R8. The fun's going to begin straight away as I go 3 wide down the back straight. The Spaniard's going to squeeze the pole onto the grass. Charming, that's not going to work here into this corner. I'm going to go the inside. He's going to try and close the door. But check out up ahead, both Audis are going to go wide and then fly back straight onto the track, giving me 5th. But this is everything I hate about GT Sport right now. There's just chaos everywhere. We're only halfway through the first lap and all that has happened. I haven't even been able to keep up really with the voiceover at this point. And the most disappointing thing is that these are all a field of S-ranked drivers. So the top ranked safety rating drivers in Gran Turismo Sport, and this is the standard that the top ranking gives you. Now, how can there be S's with behaviour like this? I really just don't understand, to be quite honest. But don't worry, it's not going to end there. It's going to continue here as we enter lap number 2. Now, you'll see that they're quite far behind. You wouldn't have thought really half a second behind there'd be any issues at all, but keep your eye on the radar here as we come down into turn number 1. There's going to be a dive bomb here. I'm going to get hit and then be forced to run wide at the first part of the Senna S. I then get a down SR arrow, losing all my momentum down the back straight, and I'm just going to get eaten up here by this Mustang. So as we go side by side, look again at the radar. He is actually going to get bumps again by the Spaniard, pushing me wide again, who then overtakes me and then barges the Mustang right out the way here and overtakes him as well. Absolutely appalling driving from the Spaniard. We're coming into turn number 8. He's almost fully sideways at this point. But we're going to brake earlier here, anticipating that he's not going to make this braking point. He comes straight across my face again there. We try and go around the outside and we get a nice petulant whack for good luck. Either way though, we are up to 5th now, and after all that, we've managed to somehow keep hold of 5th place. It's almost taken an entire lap, but we managed to do it as we finish up here lap number 2. As we come across the line here to start lap number 3, I'm mega defensive, but as I'm rattled, I actually miss my braking point big time. I actually broke about 50 metres earlier than I should have done because I didn't want to run wide and hit into him going into turn number 1 if he was on the outside. So we're actually going to lose that place in 5th there, and we're now going to come under pressure from the Mustang. Thankfully he doesn't go for it. I was anticipating it, to be quite honest, with the way things have been going, but hopefully we can now relax and try and get back after that Spaniard. Jumping forward slightly to the start of lap number 4, we've lost about 1/10 of a second to the Spaniard, so not all is lost as we enter the penultimate lap here. Well, it wasn't all lost until I get onto these curbs here in the second part of the Senna S's. I get fully sideways. I just about managed to catch it, but I'm going to lose all my momentum and I'm going to get overtaken by the Mustang there. Oh, I just can't relax in these daily race Bs. I know I've said it in a couple of videos and I don't know, to be honest, why I do it to myself, but I want to take on the challenge and try and get some good results in these races, but I'm just really struggling and it's becoming a bit of a downward spiral right now. Rejoining a little bit later on in the lap, we're about to start lap number 5, and you're going to see the Swiss Audi has had an issue and is going to go defensive into turn 1 here of the final lap. He's then going to miss his braking point, go deep and just hold absolutely everybody up. I'm going to have no choice but to go to the outside, which is just not the way to go around here, so I'm going to drop back behind the Mustang that's got loads and loads of grunt anyway. He's going to go defensive again into turn number 4, but thankfully he's going to make the braking point this time. I try and go up the inside of the Mustang, but again, just it's got too much grunt. The Lexus here, while I love it, and it's really, really good through the tight, twisty technical bits, it just doesn't have the grunt that I need to be successful at this track. So I think in the next one, I'm going to give the Audi R8 a go. So no further change then, we come across the line to take 7th place, and we're going to move to the second of the 3 races and move on to using the Audi R8 to see if we can fare any better. Here we are then, in the R8, and the fun is going to begin straight away as the Brit on the right hand side there is going to go straight on at turn number 1. So we're going to elevate ourselves to 8th place, and the power of the Audi is going to show straight away as we begin to eat up that gap to the Mitsubishi up in front. But once again, the appalling driving comes into play. Keep your eye on the radar here. He's just going to get booted by someone behind, so he's going to get pushed wide. Ugh, it's just, what are we doing here? As Seb Vettel says, what are we doing here, guys? This is supposed to be the real driving simulator. Now I get that it looks great, and I get that it handles really, really well. Now I'm not contesting that at all, but they really need to do something about the safety rating, because everything else around the game kind of spoils it for me. These guys here are the top or the safest ranked drivers on the game, and from everything we've seen in this race and the last one, it's just appalling. So Polyphony Digital, you're probably not watching this, but if anyone does, please start making it a bit more difficult to get yourself up to that top level of safety rating, because what's happening is you're putting people like me and other clean drivers in races with, quite frankly, appalling drivers, and it's really just turning me off at the moment. That and the variety, it's just really not good at the moment. I know a couple of other YouTubers have mentioned it, but this is me throwing my hat in the ring as well and saying, guys, the game is great, but everything around it is ruining it for me. And to be honest, it's letting other titles like iRacing creep into the time that I would normally have ring fenced for Gran Turismo. Starting lap number 3 here, things have calmed down in this one. We're holding position in 7th place as we start lap number 3 here, but I'm going to get onto the curbs here, coming through the second part of the centre S's, managed to just about catch it, but it's going to force me wide. I'm going to make my way back onto the track, and I'm going to get a penalty for it. Now, I'm not really sure how much time I gained with that one. I appreciate track limits and stuff, but I've already lost time anyway, so I'm not really sure why the game thinks I need a penalty as well for that one. I lost 4/10 on that straight alone to the guys up in front, but it's just another example of what I'm saying is wrong with Gran Turismo. So we're going to enter lap number 4 here, and I am going to try, and the word here is try, to get rid of the penalty that I don't think I should have had in the first place. So rather than waiting till the very end and then slamming on my anchors, I want to get rid of the penalty early. So I'm going to pull off the racing line here, get out the throttle, and absolutely nothing happens. I just couldn't get rid of it at all. So again, just another thing that is not to do with the physics or the graphics, the two things that are most important to the game. But it's a little thing like algorithm based stuff that just drags the whole experience down, and it's just killing me right now. How can you get a 1.5 seconds penalty for going wide coming out of the centre S, but at the Red Bull ring you can do it every time and have been able to for months, pretty much since its release. It's just inconsistent and very, very, very frustrating. So as we come across the line here, I couldn't better the 8th place that we've got. So let's try the 3rd race and see if 3rd time is a charm. So here we are then, about to start lap number 3. Not really much happened over the first 2 laps. We started in 9th again, mid-pack. That's pretty much what we do every single time, which is a positive thing because the matchmaking on this game is one of the positives. But things aren't going to end very well for us in this one. So as we come down into turn number 4 here, I'm going to miss the apex slightly, and I'm just going to drop my right rear into that gully, round the go. Couldn't catch it. We've probably all been there and found ourselves facing the inside barrier at turn number 4, and we're going to go all the way down to 14th place. And with these daily race speeds being such a short sprint, I'm going to have to really push to try and do anything in these final 2.5 laps. Now, there's a group of 3 up ahead, as you can see, that 11th, 12th and 13th. So what I'm going to try and do is get my head down here and see if we can take advantage of these guys as they're battling for that 11th place. If we can pick a couple of these off, or all 3 off, I would be very, very happy indeed. And to be honest, it would bring me a little bit of joy, because to be honest, once again, these daily race Bs just haven't really done it for me, to be honest. We're going to finally rejoin the action here on the penultimate lap. So we've managed to catch up to the 3 up in front through some okay driving, but mainly because these guys have been battling up in front. You can see I've put in my personal best here, got a green up arrow, which is always helpful. But what we're going to do here is we're going to take advantage of the slipstream of this BMW here and try and make a move down into turn number 1. You can see him there scrabbling to try and keep the slipstream of the Merc here, but it's not going to help him. I'm not going to show him a side till the very last minute. I'm going to go up the inside, make a move, a clean move into turn number 1. I think the first clean move I've seen today. I made my braking point, I didn't clip the Merc up in front, and we're now up to 13th. Now we're going to sit in the slipstream here as the guys battle up in front, the 2 Belgians here. We're going to come down to turn number 4. We're going to make sure we hit this apex this time and not put our rear right into the gutter here. Now I'm going to think better of going in between these guys. I get out the throttle there, as you can see. I think some other of these inverted commas S-rank drivers would have gone for that one and caused absolute chaos. But the Merc's going to run wide there. I'm going to give enough room on the outside. I'm not going to run him off, and I'm going to make the move stick into turn number 8. Now I'm sorry if this has come across as a bit of a downbeat video. I didn't want it to be, but it's just the way I'm feeling about it at the moment. My enthusiasm is wavering massively with GT Sport at the moment. I know others have mentioned it too and feel strongly enough about it to make videos about it, but mainly for me it is the event variety. Really you only have 2 because Daily Race 8 is always appalling, and the standard of driving, as in cleanliness, is just really upsetting me right now. All these guys are S ranked in safety rating, and I'm unsure how that is possible considering what we have seen today. But I'm sure as I come across the line to take 12th place, things will be better in the next video as we visit the green hell. And that for now is the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.